Hello, everyone, and welcome back. So, you've probably run theme parks, maybe you've spent some time trapping Sims in swimming pools, perhaps you're the type of person who enjoys running a hospital or an airport. How about a fast food joint that sells drugs? Or maybe if you're like me, you've pretty much done it all and built monolithic business empires. With that said, have you ever thought to yourself, what if I ran a bar, but for vampires? Well, in Blood Bar Tycoon, the name of the game is to serve drinks, not with high alcohol content, but with high iron content. The high alcohol content stuff is for the cattle. But is it a bloody good time, like a vampire blood rave without Wesley Snipes? Or is it a stake through the heart? Let's sink our fangs into Blood Bar Tycoon and find out, shall we? So, what is Blood Bar Tycoon all about? Well, it's a game where you build and run a bar for humans and vampires, but mostly vampires though. Think along the lines of classic tycoon games and a blood-soaked cocktail simulator. What's the business plan? Keep your undead clientele happy and alive while managing the human blood donors, expand your business, and, of course, keep a low profile and manage your disappearing human patrons. Essentially, Blood Bar Tycoon is what happens when Dracula is like, you know what? It's 2025. Time to switch it up. The whole eternal darkness and suffering thing is so mid 15th century. I'm going to the service industry instead. Your goal? Run a human bar, harvest said humans, mix up some bloody cocktails, and then serve them to some colorful vampire customers, all while keeping everybody happy. Simple, right? Yeah, not so much. If you mess up, let's just say your Google reviews aren't your biggest problem. You might end up attracting some unwanted attention. So how does it play? Well, gameplay is centered around attracting human customers to drink at your normal bar, making sure their needs are met and getting them good and sauce so they are oblivious and don't remember any of the horrors they are about to suffer, if they survive that is. Once you have them good and drunk, it's time to get the festivities underway. You can set your staff to capture them and secure them in steampunk-esque detention cells, where they stay until their blood juices are needed. They can have their blood removed and replaced by an alcohol solution in the blood distiller, or their blood frozen and served as a Slurpee. Or how about smoking their blood on a human rotisserie like their Donner meat spinning round and round? That's just to name a few. Now that you have your drinks on tap, patrons are happy or not happy, depending on what side you're on, what comes next? Well, now that you are making money, it's time to expand your bar to house the various types of customers, all who have different taste and bank account sizes, upgrade your machines, research new things, and keep going as you progress through the campaign, unlocking new maps to build on and side missions that can either help or hinder you. But really, one of the most fun things is the Sims style decorating. Essentially, it's like running a normal bar minus having to worry about the health inspector. And your regulars probably participated in the Spanish Crusades or self-isolated during the Black Plague. Look, I've dove into enough of these kinds of games to know that profit is king, the grand poobah, the end-all be-all. But in Blood Bar Tycoon, keeping your customers alive, or not, in a well-decorated bar is part of the fun. But don't forget about the staff. How else will this place run without well-trained and enthusiastic indentured staff members? Fine-tuning your staff assignments is a key to running a smooth operation. I find having dedicated staff to mix drinks, serve them, and clean is a good strategy, then setting up other staff to handle specific tasks. Staff minions have specific abilities that allow them to perform certain tasks, such as capturing humans, wiping panic humans' memories. There is even a Reaper ability that turns the minion into an investigator and vampire hunter. That's just what I've unlocked so far. I wonder if there are more. Visually, Blood Bar Tycoon has a dark and spooky but cozy vibe. The characters are quirky and loaded with personality and expressions, so full of life. Or not, depends on who you're looking at. The sheer amount of different ways to decorate your bar is a huge added value. You can stick with a matching theme or mix things up to keep it weird. There is a decent amount of themes that you gradually unlock by playing the game, each one adding a new style of decoration to attract new customers that have increasing demands. The team at Clever Trickster have quite obviously poured a lot of themselves and their passion into this game to give it the exact look they wanted. It borrows a lot from classic and modern Tycoon games, but at the same time, the developers have done a fantastic job of giving it their own flavor, allowing it to stand out on its own merits while being able to stand next to them. Pair that with fantastic sound design, and it just adds so much more life to everything. The music has a dark and broody feel to it, but at the same time sharing that quirky, cozy sense that everything else has. It is all well executed. So what do I feel are the pros and cons for Blood Bar Tycoon? For pros, I find the game settings is a fresh take on the Tycoon genre. The mechanics of the game are typical of Tycoon games, but with a spooky, cozy vibe. They're well implemented and executed. It's a unique concept. The music is just so... I'm listening to the soundtrack right now as I write this script, and it's just so perfect. It's got this Tim Burton-esque feel with a quirky twist. It's so well suited to the game. Another plus to the game is the wide variety of decoration options and variations, allowing you to truly make your bar your own. Couple all of these points and many others with a dedicated studio that really listens to their players, and you have a true indie gem that oozes atmosphere and personality. Moving on to the cons. For me personally, I don't have much to say here that isn't stuff typical of Tycoon games and newly released games. There have been a few bugs that I've encountered, not overly game breaking, but definitely super annoying that do hinder my progress. The dev has been hard at work pushing out hot fixes to address these, so that's a bonus. Then there is the normal gameplay loop that is typical of Tycoon games, but that's just how these games are. Another one would be the small research tree. I would have liked to have seen more researchables, but for me personally, those are the biggest cons for me. I was on the fence about the price initially, but after playing for a while and just seeing how passionate the devs are about the game, in my opinion, I feel the price is more than fair. It's actually a great value in my eyes. So in conclusion, should you play Blood Bar Tycoon? I mean, yeah, if you're into Tycoon games, like dark, quirky humor all wrapped up in a cozy, easy to enjoy experience, this could be the game for you. The game doesn't take itself too seriously. The team at Clever Trickster, however, do take the game very seriously and are one of the most engaging teams I have ever seen. They're an amazing bunch. I look forward to this game's future as well as the studio as a whole, and I will be keeping a very close eye on them. I think you all should too. If you're a fan of Tycoon games, cozy, relaxing games, hell, if you're a fan of good games, this should be on your radar. Well, that's it. As always, thanks for watching. If you've made it this far, you're a champ, and I love you very much. I hope to see you back for the next one. So until then, don't play the punching machine and take it easy, eh?